Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. What's happening in your world right now?
Not much.
Besides being stuck in the house and everything.
Yeah, I'm taking French lessons.
Are you?
I am. Trying to
That's
keep myself
amazing
busy.
that you're doing something with your time. I keep telling myself that I want to do something, but I
I
still have
had
yet to do
to. I
anything.
had to.
What else have you been doing during quarantine?
Um, Not much really. I mean, I'm trying to keep as busy as I can, of course, but like also accepting the fact that there's not much to do and just like chilling.
Making music?
Not really. I mean, I've made some like covers and stuff like that, but it's hard to be creative right now. I feel like it's like a weird time and environment to be creative in.
Absolutely, because of the uncertainty. Are you like me and are you just get crazy anxiety over the fact of what's going on?
Of course, yeah, 100%. Keeps me up at night, not having any idea when it's gonna end and like it's all really scary. So it's hard to like for me at least to get creative right now.
Absolutely. What's one thing that you're gonna do as soon as this is done? You're gonna run and do what?
Film a music video that I've needed to film for so long and like I was about to film it and then this whole thing happened. So definitely film this music video that I've been wanting to film.
Are you doing like directing all of your music videos that you have coming up and that you've done? Is that a thing that you've been doing?
Yeah, so I like conceptualize all of them and then we bring them to a director because it's kind of like I don't know. A lot of people say they completely direct their own videos, but it's kind of impossible when you're the artist behind the camera as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring it to a director who then is like co-directing it with me. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, with every video, it's kind of like a little bit more, a little bit less, or whatever. But yeah, I definitely have like complete creative control over everything, and I'm directing it just as much as the person who's behind the camera. So yeah, it's been something that I've been doing for like
That's a that's amazing. How are you able to get like that control from the label?
I just kind of like I think that it's about, like, gaining trust in a way, and unfortunately, that's just kinda how it works, like, I can't just walk up in there being like, "I wanna direct my own videos," and have them be like, "Sure."
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of about trial and error, and, like, we shot a music video a long time ago with a director that we really didn't like, and then I was like, "Let me try to direct some stuff," and the past 2 music videos I've directed have, like we both have loved, and, like, they've come out and done super well for me, so I think that, like, yeah, it's just about kind of proving myself.
Absolutely. I want to talk about selfish right quick and how I was reading the comments on YouTube and people are loving it. And the one thing that I really love about it is that at the end of the song, you just do this.
Yeah,
And
that
I
was
feel like that ends the song so perfectly.
oh my god, first of all, I love your shirt. Didn't even realize you were
Thank
wearing
you.
a Hip Hop shirt.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Secondly, yeah, I always wanted to end a song with a sigh for some reason. It was always like this dream of mine as a kid. And because I
Mhm.
don't remember what song did it, but there was definitely a song growing up that I had heard that in, and I was like, I want to do that. I don't know what it is, but it'll come to me. And so yeah, when I was recording, I just did it on the last take. And my producer was like, "That was so cute. Like we should leave that in there." And I was like, "Let's fucking do it. Let's go." And we
Were you just like happy that it was over? Or was it just like, or what, during the time when you were doing it, were you just like, all right, I'm gonna do the side because I heard it, years ago?
um I think it was like I was more so like it was a sigh of like relief, but also kind of a sigh of just like being sad. And like I was the song is really personal to me, and I had a lot of like emotions during the recording day. So I think that at the end of it, when I let out that sigh, it was kind of more just like I'm glad this is over, and like, but I'm also I don't know, it was a conflicting sigh. It wasn't like
It
relief
was.
necessarily, but it was like I don't know how to explain it. It was kind of just like
It's
that was
almost like now it's out there. Now people are gonna hear it
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
It was a lot to unpack for sure.
Does it ever make you crazy when you put out a song and people just waiting for people's reaction and anticipation for it? Does it drive you nuts?
I wouldn't say it drives me nuts. I kind of have like come to a place where I don't really not that I don't care, I just don't let it like define what I like and what I consider to be like art and the way that I express myself. So if I'm gonna put something out, clearly I feel good about it and it means something to
Hmm.
me in whatever capacity that might be. So of course it matters to me 100% what my fans think and what people think of me. I'm human, of course, but like I also take everything with a grain of salt. And if something feels good to me and if I vibe with it and I think that it's a good record, then like I don't think that even if the internet were to be like, I hate this song, and they all, thought it was terrible, if I liked it, then like that's kind of all that I really care about. And I could just hope that people are gonna resonate with it and, feel it on whatever level. And I think that's what Selfish has for sure done, is it was a really intimidating song to put out, but
Hmm.
it's resonated with people so much more than I could have ever expected.
Absolutely. People are, it's so real. It's really interesting when you read messages and people are like, wow, I've went through the same situation, or, oh, she's talking about my ex in this situation, or
Yeah.
Gemini's. We don't know Gemini. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
really interesting when you get messages like that, when they really react to it. That must take you back and make you feel away.
Yeah. It feels really good.
Let's talk about it's the first song to receive 1 million plays in a day on Spotify. Bruh,
I
that's
know.
fire.
It's crazy. It's been beating itself every single day as well. Like that was its biggest day a few days ago, and then now it did 1.5 in a day, and like it just keeps on growing, and it's mind-blowing for sure. And I'm just so grateful that it's this song. I think that like, arguably people would say like maybe you would want that amount of streams on a song that's like a little bit more upbeat or is a little bit more radio friendly, or like, you know what I mean? Like maybe people would say like you should strive for that amount of streams on something like that. But I would so much rather be on a song like this that actually is like hitting people's hearts and making them feel something. And like that's why I'm so happy that this song is the one that has been like breaking, new records for me and like achieving new highs. And it's just been awesome because this was a song I was like very, very nervous to put out because I did not know how people were going to take me being vulnerable. It was like my first time releasing a record with vulnerability. So it was nerve-wracking. So the fact that people are just like accepting it and loving it is crazy to me.
Do you think it's hard to be vulnerable?
I think it's intimidating. I don't think it's hard. I think it's hard because of all the judgment that goes on in our society, and especially with like social media. I think that like people just take things the wrong way, or they don't think about what happens behind closed doors. They just think like what's put in front of them is what it is. So I think it's a little bit scary to be vulnerable when you know that you're being put up for interpretation at all times as well. Like, if I were to come out and say and tell a story about something that had happened to me or some traumatic event or whatever it might be, that could be scary because how are people going to take this? What are they going to take away from it? What part of the story are they going to care about the most? And, when it's something that's like close to your heart, whether it's a good or bad way, it's a lot to unload that and unpack it for the public.
Hmm.
So that could be scary because, it's like your events that you feel strongly about and you don't want the internet like altering it or taking away from it. And I don't know, it's weird, but I've tried to just like start not really caring about what people think about me or like my story, and like I just try to be as authentic as I possibly can.
Absolutely. So when you're writing a song like Selfish, right? How do you get to that place? Like, what sparks the first, I want to say, first lyrics, like first getting the project done? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, well, we were talking about songs I wanted to write, ideas I've had, and I kind of wanted to write a song that was about just like when people show you their true colors, how you kind of have to just believe them after a certain point. And
Hmm.
that's an unfortunate reality that I think a lot of young people have to learn the hard way. So I especially did, and I just wanted to write a song that was, basically saying like my intuition always knew something was off about you, but like my heart still loved you, and like
Hmm.
I tried to make things work, but it like, just didn't work out like I wanted it to. So that was like the main inspiration behind my song, is because I also like a narrative that I try to push on my fans or whoever is listening, is that like, especially as women, we need to trust our intuition a bit more. And I think that like women have this like gene in them that just knows what's good. And I think that a lot of women ignore that, and they maybe will be in a relationship with somebody and they'll be like, oh yeah, like no, like I do think he's cheating on me, but like I love him and it's fine. Like if you think that, it's probably true. So like I just want my fans or anyone to just like trust themselves a bit more, because I promise you your gut knows what it's talking about most of the time. And that was really what I wanted the song to say, because I always, like I said, I always knew that you were too damn selfish. Like I always knew in the back of my head this person's true colors, and I ignored them. I chose to ignore them. I was blinded
Hmm.
by love.
It's so funny. I used to have, my aunties would say, women have intuition for a reason.
100%.
Like that gut feeling, they know what's going on, and it's up to you to like ignore it or acknowledge it. You know what
Well,
I'm
'cause
saying?
sometimes it's things they don't want to acknowledge. It'll be something they don't want to hear, so they ignore it. But I think
Like if
we've
you
got
give right, like if you give a friend advice and it's something that they already know, but they choose to ignore it because it's like, but I love him.
right.
Who cares?
Exactly.
If you love him, if he's not right for you, he's not right for you.
Yeah.
So you've been gaming on quarantine and whatnot?
Gaming?
Yeah.
I've tried to learn like a few things. I tried to play Warzone, Call of Duty. I'm horrible at. Warzone I'm like sort of okay at. Um I played League of Legends a little bit. My brother just got this code to this new game. I don't know what it's called. Valorant. I don't know. I tweeted about it because I wanted to get a code as well, but it's apparently like a new like Fortnite kind of vibe. I don't know. But
hmm
I'm not really good. I'm such a poser. I'm not really good.
I've been trying to game, but I first need a system. I have a throwback Sega Genesis that I got, you know, the new versions, the
Yeah,
smaller
that's
versions.
okay.
So I got one of those, but I feel like I just want to like, it's so weird. I don't know what to do during this time.
I know.
I don't know what to do.
I know. It's really tough.
And the anxiety of it all is like driving me crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. It's really
What
stressful.
do, what do you do to get over that?
Um, I I did a college like a talk with a sorority at a college recently, and like they were a lot of them were asking me that, and they were basically saying like, what can I do to not be anxious at night or freak out or spiral or whatever. And something that it has helped me at least in any aspect, regardless of like this whole coronavirus, it's like I first of all think really unrealistically when I'm spiraling with anxiety, and my brain will just go to places that probably won't happen, probably are unrealistic, probably are illogical, but like I'll still freak out about it because I'm having an anxiety attack. So something I've instilled in my life is like the what if then, and that's helped me and a
hmm
lot of people around me. So it's like, what if this goes on for another month? If then, I'll be in my house for another month, and that's what I'm going to have to accept. Instead of going down the path of being, what if I'm in the house for another month? Then I'm going to do this. And then you start freaking out. It's good to just center yourself again and be like, okay, realistically, what if this goes on for another month? If it goes on for another month, I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to do what I can to stay positive in that time. And that's a realistic set of guidelines you could put in for yourself. And then another part of it, I would say, is accepting the fact that you're going to be anxious and you're going to be upset and you're going to miss people and you're going to be lonely and you're going to feel just really down a lot of days. And like once you accept that, I think it'll be easy to overcome the hurdles that those days bring, because I think a lot of what I've seen, at least on social media and like with, a lot of celebrities or whatever, a lot of the narrative that I see being pushed right now is be happy, wake up, go for a walk, have a positive mindset, which is 100% great. And I'm not encouraging anyone to just sit and like wallow in sadness. But as human beings, we need to accept that we're going to have really tough days, especially amidst a really scary, unknown time. We need to just be prepared for those days. And instead of, I think, making other people feel bad for not wanting to get out of bed that day, we should, as a community and as people, be able to lift each other up and be like, it's okay if you don't want to get out of bed today. It's normal. Tomorrow, why don't you try to get up and go for a walk, get some fresh air? But today, you're not feeling it, stay in bed. Fine. But as long as you could pick yourself up and get yourself out of it. And I think we just have to like accept there's going to be tough days, and we just need to feel our feelings, and then it'll help you get over it. I think better. It'll just help you get stronger.
That's very powerful. What if then?
hmm I
I'm gonna use
swear,
that for
next time you're
myself.
having anxiety, you got to just do it, and you're going to be like, this is actually working. Because so much of anxiety is just false. Like, I always say your anxiety is lying to you. Anything when you're anxious, like I get anxiety over things that are just 100% not true and are not going to
hmm
happen, but I
Right.
still get such anxiety over them. And when you just like build this structure in your head that's a realistic construct, you're able to just like defeat it. And then when your anxiety goes, well, what if this happens, you go, oh girl, well, I already have a plan. I already know if then
Right.
I'm good. So I think it just gives you the power back.
That's amazing. What if then? It's so simple, but
So
it's so effective.
yeah, it
I
is.
appreciate you for helping me with my
100%.
anxiety.
No, totally. I hope it works.
And I know a lot of people are going to appreciate that when they see this video. Madison, thank you so much for taking time out of your quarantine and chatting with us. I
We got Rick
definitely
and Morty new episodes in like a week, 2 weeks.
seriously,
Yes, May 3rd.
I gotta check that out. You're
Mm-hmm.
the best. Thank you so much for that heads up.
Of course. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Stay safe, okay?
You too.
Bye.